After using most of the weapons against the Richtofen boss fight, I think it's finally time to give you guys my top 5 weapons to take down the hardest boss in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So as always, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe for more content, and let's get this. Alright guys, kicking things off, we have the Tanto SMG on number 5, and I'm pretty sure this comes at a surprise for pretty much everybody because this weapon was never that amazing in Zombies. Yes, it does pretty good damage, but it's super slow firing. Well, that kind of changed when double tap released, because if you use double tap and the augment that increases the fire rate even more, this thing shoots extremely quick and you can do some ridiculous damage, especially against this boss. You want to use double standard as well. Every time you go for the Richtofen boss fight, please make sure double standard is your go-to augment for double tap, because most of the damage you do is going to be non-critical and you want to double that every time. And this SMG will absolutely melt him. It does 2000 damage on phase 1 per shot, and with that fire rate, well, you can see in the background gameplay, it's insane. And at range it can do around 1800 damage, which is still very good, better than most of the ARs in the game. And on phase 2, where everything gets really hectic and really hard, it does almost 1000 damage per shot. And again, with that fire rate, you're absolutely gonna destroy him. The loadout is gonna be on the screen right now. I'm not using CFH barrel or any of that kind of stuff because I want to reduce the recoil as much as I can. This thing has pretty high recoil with CFH barrel and double tap, so you do want to use something else to reduce that kick as much as you can. The loadout that I put on the screen, it's actually very good, and you will be absolutely surprised of how powerful this weapon can be against the Richtofen boss fight. Definitely a fantastic weapon to use, and it's actually pretty good for the Sam boss fight as well, but I feel for Richtofen it's a lot better. So definitely give it a go. You're gonna be blown away by how good it is. But it's not as good as the number 4, because here we have the fan favorite, well, Maelstrom. And you may be wondering, why is the Maelstrom just on number 4? Because this is pretty much one of, if not the best weapon in the game. Well, the Maelstrom may be fantastic, may be doing amazing damage, but you reload quite often because of the super fast fire rate it has. And whenever you're in Ether Shroud, a bad reload or a full reload can really basically end your Ether Shot before you can do enough damage to finish the phases. So this is why this gets number 4. Also, it doesn't have a lot of range, especially on that second phase, because you want to be as close as possible to do the insane damage that the Maelstrom can do, and it's a bit hard to do that on the second phase when he's in the jetpack and everything. On phase 1, the Maelstrom, it's absolutely ridiculous. When you break that armor, it's gonna absolutely destroy that Uber Richtofen phase, and then again on the second phase it's gonna do really well as well, but you're gonna reload quite often because it has 28 rounds in a magazine and the fire rate is just ridiculous with this gun. So because of that, and because of the low range it has, it's really hard to basically finish phases in one Ether Shot. It's definitely doable if you place yourself correctly and you time your reloads very well, but most of the time you're gonna be at the longer ranges than you want to be with this kind of weapons, and you're not really gonna do the most amount of damage you can do. So definitely this gets 4th place for me. The loadout is gonna be on the screen right now. I always go for a tac stance kind of build with this weapon because I don't want to ADS, I just want to be on the move very fast. You can see targets very well with this weapon in tac stance, and I just think it works very well. Again, much with the Tanto, I will highly advise everybody to give double standard a use. On double tap, this is the absolute best augment you want to have on any perk possible. Like double standard on double tap is the absolute goat of this boss fight. Nonetheless, I know a lot of people are gonna enjoy this weapon a lot, might be their favorite. It's still absolutely fantastic, like it's one of the best against Richtofen, but I just feel like the lack of range it has and the amount of times you have to reload with it, it's only gonna put it on number 4 for me, because we have much better weapons. Alright guys, moving on to the number 3 spot. Here we have an assault rifle, and this is one of the best ARs in the game for any boss fight and pretty much for high rounds as well. This is the GPR AR. This thing is an absolute monster, especially after you add double tap with double standard. It does around 1000 damage on phase 1, which might not seem much, but the fire rate is kind of insane. And on phase 2 it does 970 damage, which is insane. With one full ether shot with extension, I always took down one phase with this weapon, which definitely means something. It's very, very good. It does have a bit of a kick, so you can definitely change up the attachments. You don't necessarily need CFH barrel because you're not gonna do crit damage. I'm gonna put the loadout on the screen right now. For me, this works absolutely fantastic. It does have tons of ammo in the magazine, great ammo in reserves as well. It doesn't have the fastest reload when you put the biggest magazine in, the draw mag, but nonetheless you can pretty much take down Richtofen super easy with this. I've seen a lot of people taking down Richtofen around 100 with this, and it's a very, very easy weapon to use. I will highly advise anybody to give this a go if you have trouble with Richtofen. It might not do as much damage as the Tanto in phase 1, but because it has that really fast fire rate, it's taking down the phase super easy. And it's of course a lot easier to use than, for example, snipers and stuff like that, because at the end of the day it's an assault rifle. You just have to hold mouse 1 and just pull down a bit to control the recoil. So if you guys want a fantastic gun for the boss fight, definitely give this a go. It's very good against Sam as well, so yeah, make sure you use the GPR because it's great. But it's definitely not as good as the number 2 spot, where we have, well, the one and only sniper rifle, the AMR Mod 4. You may be wondering why is this on the second, because it's a sniper, it's slow, it's it doesn't have a lot of bullets and everything. Well, the amount of damage this thing does per shot, it's absolutely ridiculous. Phase 1, it can do up to 12,000 damage per bullet. You have 16 in the magazine. You beat the phase 1 in literally 1 minute with this. If you put it on a free fire or stock option or anything and you just spam away, this thing will absolutely destroy him. I'm pretty sure he can break a shoulder pad in just one magazine, which definitely means something for this weapon. Of course, it's a lot harder to use compared with other weapons like an assault rifle or a shotgun or an SMG, but the amount of damage you can do, it's definitely making it be on the second place for me. Phase 2, again, one of the best weapons in the game. It does over 4,000 damage per shot. You can beat phases very easily in one ether shot, but keep in mind, try not to empty the magazine before reloading, because the reload of this weapon is fairly slow and you don't have a lot of bullets in the magazine. So try to maybe shoot 10, 14 bullets at max and then reload, so you can have the maximum amount of time possible to do damage to Richtofen. I beat the boss fight many times with this gun, and I will highly advise anybody to give it a go. Again, it's a more skillful of a weapon. It's definitely harder to use than other ones, but the damage output just makes it worthwhile. The loadout is going to be on the screen right now. This is definitely made for ADS and have a bit of mobility and the most amount of bullets in the magazine. It also has a nice pack-a-punch ability to basically shoot extremely quick and to ADS extremely quick. Before pack-a-punching this thing, it's absolutely horrible. Super slow fire rate and ADS. So yeah, after pack-a-punching, this thing is an absolute beast. Definitely give it a go against Richtofen. You are not going to regret it. When it comes to augments, definitely double standard is the way to go. And for double tap, because it actually shoots very fast after pack-a-punch, you could potentially use double or nothing to maybe do double damage sometimes, but there's a chance that you do zero damage as well, so that might cost you a phase. So I'll rather still go with the augment that basically gives you a better fire rate, but double or nothing could be beneficial as well with this gun. And finally, moving on to the number 1 spot, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate me. I already made a few videos about this being an amazing weapon, and a lot of people agree with me, but some people just don't like the recoil of it. Here we have the marksman rifle, the DM10. This is one of, if not the best weapon in the game right now. It does a ridiculous amount of damage against zombies, against elites, and against any boss in the game. Especially on Richtofen, it pretty much cooks him after double tap it's acquired. It does around 6,000 damage per shot on phase 1, which is insane because you can spam this thing so much. If you guys didn't know, the DM10 gets a binary trigger pack-a-punch ability, so that means it shoots once when you click, once when you release, so every click it's like 2 shots, and you can spam this thing super fast. I don't have a script or anything. I know a lot of people said that in the chat. No, you can actually spam this weapon super fast and make it seem like it's full automatic. On phase 2, it does over 3,000 damage, which is almost as much as the AMR, but you have 45 bullets in the magazine. Yes, the recoil is a bit high with this weapon, but you can definitely use attachments to reduce that recoil a lot. I'm gonna put the loadout on the screen right now. I am using the CFH barrel in here, the biggest magazine and rapid fire, of course, but you could potentially take off the rapid fire and put recoil springs, and you can definitely take off CFH barrel and put something like a reinforced barrel to help with the recoil a bit and stuff like that. But I feel like the rapid fire attachment, it's a bit needed because you want to shoot this weapon as fast as you can. Definitely when it comes to double tap, you want to use the augment that increases the fire rate even more for the minor, and for the major, double standard is the way to go. This thing will absolutely melt phase 1 and phase 2 of Richtofen. I've never had any issues with this. I think I beat the boss with this weapon at least 25 to 30 times, which is absolutely insane. Like, out of every weapon that I used against him, always the DM10 just seemed such an easy to use gun. As I said, recoil is gonna be a bit much for some people, especially if you're on console, so definitely change up the attachments a bit to help you out with that kick per shot. But if you have decent aim, you can just destroy Richtofen and Sam as well. Like, it does, I think, 6,000 damage in the crit spot for Sam, which is insane with that fire rate. So definitely this is the weapon you want to use. But let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think about these guns. These are definitely my favorite. I think there's other guns out there that are really good. One other mention that I really want to give you guys is the ASG shotgun, which used to be the meta weapon in the beginning of the game. It's actually pretty good against Richtofen. It's like a Maelstrom that has more bullets but shoots a bit slower, so it really depends what you want to use. You can definitely replace the Maelstrom with that one. It's not going to do as much damage, but it's very, very close. So definitely ASG, fantastic choice. Also the Syrian, it's very good as well, especially on phase 1. But that doesn't have the best bullet velocity, so on phase 2 it might be a bit tricky to take him down. But again, many weapons in the game that are very good, but for me these 5 are the absolute goats. So as always, guys, let me know in the comments what do you think about this. What are your go-to guns? Smash the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.